Bear with me, YouTube. This is my first real YouTube video. I'm actually trying to get started on a gunsmithing course of informational, just bare bones crap. So one thing that I found was there's plenty of videos that talk about the M70a by Zastava, the Tokarev clone chambered in 9mm, but there aren't any that discuss a how-to on how to deactivate the magazine safety. Now, some people probably think it's a simple enough procedure, but I mean, if you're anything like me, you want to just see it, see how it's done, and know that you're not going to ruin the pistol. So, here you go. If you know how to take this off, this plate right here, which normally this is what would be here, right? There's a inside of it, because I've already taken it off clearly, there's this lever, right? You swing it one way, and then this plastic piece of crap will just pop right off. So that pops off, and that reveals what would be, if I hadn't removed it, and now I'm going to put it back in just so you can see it for visual purposes, what is the magazine safety. If you look really closely, you can see there should be a dark circle right here on the end where you can see a bunch of grind marks, but it was blued, so it'll be a dark mark. A plate of steel, and then this bent piece of metal, which is what contacts the magazine, moves out of the way, and therefore gets out of the way of what this bar is, which is part of the trigger. So when I fell out, whatever. You get what I'm getting at. So this notch right here is where the magazine safety sits inside of it, and that is part of the trigger. So now that the trigger is activated with the magazine in, that will be out of the way. You can actuate the trigger. But with the magazine not in, this would directly be in this hole, this little slot, and it would not allow you to move the trigger. So in other words, it's a straight mechanical operation. No springs, no nothing. It's just a basic piece of metal in the way. So you can literally remove it however you want, as long as you remove it, and it'll work just fine. So I can tell you that right now. Another thing I'm going to tell you is, if you can manage it, now I couldn't. I've had some issues with this particular Tokarev clone. When I first got it, the magazine latch didn't work properly. The thing that actually catches in the slot in the magazine, it wouldn't hold them inside. I would fire one round and it would pop the magazine out because it was defective. So I sent it back, got it repaired, whatever. That being said, if you decide to do this, to remove this, it will void the warranty. So be aware. Don't just buy the thing and start messing with it. Make sure the rest of the firearm functions properly before that, because you want a functional firearm before you start screwing with your firearm. That being said, if you can, take off this plate also. There will be a hole here. And when you take, it'll be a bigger hole. So what I would say is, because I tried hammering out with a pin, and I've got punches and all that, all those simple, basic gunsmith tools, none of them worked. What you're probably going to need to do is drill it. So I would say drill it. Preferably with a drill press if you have the option. So you just go through what is a bigger hole on this side, and you'd be drilling out the center of where that ring used to be on this side. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep this all in frame. So if you did that, it should just come right out, and then the whole thing will come out as one unit. Awesome. If not, you can do it the way I did it, which was I basically took a flathead screwdriver. I pushed out from the inside that pin until there was just enough clearance. I stuck another flathead screwdriver in to hold it, took this out, put it in that space, and bent it. And I was very careful, but I mean, as you can see, I did still mar the finish here. So I bent it up and out of the way. I took a Dremel with a cutting wheel, and I cut off as close to the bottom as I can get without marring the actual thing itself. Which, by the way, use masking tape if you're worried about it. You don't necessarily have to be. I did, as you can see, mar it, but when you put the grip back on, you can't see any of it anyway. So it's not really a huge deal. Cosmetically, anyway. It doesn't at all affect it functionally. So I cut that off and use the same cutting wheel to flatten it out and make it safe to the touch, because it was really scary sharp after that. So yeah, that being said, anyone who has a clone of a Tokarev right now who has the same pistol, you'll know that this looks weird. I polished it a little bit, took some emery to it. I'm going to polish it more. Probably going to Duracoat the whole thing, in fact. We're probably going to Duracoat this and Duracoat the gun, because this is my gunsmithing learner. I'm going to mess with this thing in every way that I know how to mess with a pistol and learn along the way, like finishes and all that BS. So did this because the whole point I even wanted to do this was so I had a drop-free mag. And as you can see, magazine slides in real safe, real easy, and As you can see, it definitely is drop free. So it's got that whole tactical reload. God damn it! I don't want to get dog hair in that. All right, it's got the whole tactical reload thing going for it, and as you can see, there's no magazine in it. I'm going to demonstrate that it does in fact work. So, cool, hammer down, get all of my fingers out of the way, and bam. So there you go. Something as simple as prying it, cutting it, filing it down, covering the cosmetic blemishes you may or may not have put on it, and you've got a reliable, cheap, pretty awesome pistol. Gotta say. So hopefully this was helpful. I'm glad I could be one of the first guys to do this for you.